Hello, my name is Nate Jackson. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are taking you guys back to the journey to the city of Oakland, Jack London Square, where we can fill some trains. In this first video, we have the eastbound intermodal stack train headed eastbound on Martinez subdivision here earlier in the morning, like around 7:15 a.m. Train number 6, eastbound, California South. Oh my god. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Oh my goodness. The next train we have to see is the Amtrak Capital Corridor, making its way here to the Amtrak station called Oakland Jack London Square on Broadway Street in Embarcadero, where I had to film some trains heading northbound, southbound. Broadway Street in Embarcadero is one of my favorite railroad spots where I have to film some trains all the time. However, the Broadway Street is one of my favorite streets where I have to walk back and forth to see the trains, and it is also the best street where I have to walk around and see cool places. Next up, we have the Amtrak train 711, the Gold Runner, making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square here at 11:13 a.m. in the morning here in Oakland Jack London Square in Oakland, California at 11:13 a.m. The Gold Runner was renamed. The Gold Runner was previously the San Joaquin. Now it is being rebranded and renamed this route called the Gold Runner. The Gold Runner is one of the best routes that runs on the San Joaquin Valley, where the BNSF Stockton and Bakersfield subdivision runs by BNSF trains, where I had to ride the Amtrak on the BNSF Stockton subdivision between Stockton and Bakersfield. So here it is, you guys. The Amtrak 711 Gold Runner, led by F59 PHI. Coming on track 1. Now the Gold Runner is now officially returning to the Oakland yards led by MPCU, which is shaped like an F-40PH locomotive that were used on the Amtrak trains from previous years. So it's running its so return to Oakland led by MPCU, which is on the rear, with F-59PHI, who is lead the unit, pushing it back to the Oakland yards. So here it is, Amtrak 711 Gold Runner. Moments later, we have the Amtrak Capital Corridor making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square station. As soon as I was waiting for the Amtrak train to get by, as soon as I was, the grade crossing gate went down because I thought the train was about to go past by, and after the gate went up, it didn't go by at all. So when I was on this street right there, I had a good time railfanning there, and it was the first time I had to film some trains at the grade crossing, where the Capital Corridor runs their north and southbound trains here in Oakland, California, at Oakland Jack London Square Station, where I have to film lots of Amtrak trains, including the Gold Runner, Capital Corridor, and the Coast Starlight. Luckily, the California Zephyr doesn't run their trains in Oakland Jack London Square. They went from Emeryville to Chicago, Illinois, while Amtrak Coast Starlight trains runs north and southbound from Seattle, Washington to Los Angeles, for northbound from Los Angeles to Seattle, Washington, whereas making its way stop here in Oakland Jack London Square at night. For Amtrak Train 11, it made it stop here in Oakland Jack London Square in the morning, while train number 14 made it stop at night. So here it is, Amtrak Capital Corridor, making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square. Couple days later, Amtrak Train 711 is making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square, which is the Gold Runner with the Siemens Adventure cars making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square. The Siemens Adventure cars could be as similar to the Universal single level cars, which I was looking forward to ride on every Amtrak long distance train, where I had to film some trains, film the scenery whenever I run on the trains. Oakland Jack London Square is one of my favorite places where I used to grow up as a kid. And after that, I moved to Bakersfield, then moved to Roseville, because Oakland Jack London Square is the San Francisco Bay Area, where they have lots of waters and seas where you can look at. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amtrak Train 711 making its way here in Oakland Jack London Square, followed by 733, the Capital Corridor, going from Sacramento to San Jose on track 1. It looks like 7-Eleven is now on the move again, heading back to the Oakland yard, where I used to go see the trains and Union Pacific trains, Amtrak trains, have parked their trains at the Oakland yard based on what I like and one of my favorite places. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amtrak 7-Eleven, the Gold Runner, heading back to the Oakland yard. Moments later, right after Amtrak train 7-Eleven has left back to the yard, we have Amtrak Capital Corridor train, could be 733 or 728, is making its move, heading southbound to San Jose here in Oakland Jack London Square. Departing Oakland Jack London Square, now officially heading to San Jose, led by F59 Unit 2002. Heading southbound either on track 2 or track 1 of Union Pacific now subdivision here in Oakland Jack London Square at Oakland, California. Here on the other side of Oakland Street in Oakland Jack London Square, where I had to wait for the trains heading by either northbound or southbound. Luckily, when I was looking at the grade crossing, they seemed to be amazing. Well, what really surprises me is that one of the gates is a little bit far away from the other signal, while the crossing arms is a little bit closer to the signal, which is not very surprising at all. Even though at Oakland Street in Oakland, California, I really like this place where I have to railfan some trains heading northbound or southbound. Could be either Amtrak Capital Corridor trains or Coast Starlight or the Union Pacific Manifest trains, which I have never filmed any other trains at this street before, either on the West Street or the East Street of Oakland Street here in Oakland, California, in Oakland Jack London Square in Oakland, California, which I have never seen this grade crossing before, but I first saw it for the first time when I was a kid, where me and my dad had to drop off my mom when I was a boy here in Oakland Jack London Square station. So I was waiting for a train to come by, which it didn't. So here's the grade crossing. Later on, I captured the Amtrak Capital Corridor train heading to the Oakland Jack London Square station led by Siemens Charger SC44 locomotive, which I really love very much, heading southbound on track 1, Union Pacific subdivision. Not for now. Here comes Amtrak Capital Corridor. Moments later on Amtrak Capital Corridor, which could be 748, heading northbound from San Jose to Sacramento, California, or to Auburn on track 2 of Union Pacific now subdivision here on track 2 here in Oakland Jack London Square. Just a few minutes later, we have Amtrak Capitol Quarters, now departing from Oakland Jackson Square, heading to Sacramento Station or Auburn, here in Oakland Jackson Square in Oakland, California. Earlier today, we have Amtrak Capitol Quarter 728 or 733 heading southbound on Union Pacific Subdivision of Niles, making its way here in Oakland Jackson Square, led by Siemens Chargers SC44 unit, leading the Capitol Quarter train with the Caltrain F40PH unit, which is going to be retired or maybe on the service for the very first time. Now making its way here on track 1 and crossing over on track 1 here in Oakland Jackson Square. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amtrak Capitol Quarter, making its way here in Oakland Jackson Square with Caltrain's F40PH unit on the rear or as a trailing here on Capitol Quarter. It turns out it is crossing over on from track 1 to track 2 in Oakland Jackson Square Station. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amtrak Capitol Quarter train. A couple minutes later, just as I roll my bike here at this crossing, we have Amtrak Capitol Quarter train, which is on the move again, heading southbound to San Jose on track 2 of Union Pacific Niles Subdivision here in Oakland Jackson Square, where I have to film this train at this grade crossing for the very first time. But my favorite railroad spot was in Broadway and Brocadero. This is Amtrak Capitol Quarter. Amtrak train 711 was on the move again, heading back to the Oakland yards, led by cab cars, leading the Siemens Venture cars of Amtrak train Goldwater 711, headed back to the Oakland yard with rear helper unit what turns out to be the F59 PHI unit or the SC44 Chargers, but it turns out to be an F59 unit headed back to Oakland Yard, where I have to see all the trains, where all the Amtrak trains were parked on, including the San Joaquin, including the Goldwater Capitol Quarter, and the California Zephyr. Minutes later, when I was waiting on Amtrak train 733, which is the capital corridor heading from Sacramento to San Jose, a man was letting us know that the train 733, where the cafe car would not be open or whatsoever. But however, Amtrak train 733 has making its way here in Oakland Jackland Square, where I had to see it again, see it for the first time with another F40PH unit with the Cloud Trains paint scheme, which is on the trailer behind SC44 Charger Siemens Charger locomotive, which was very surprising me, and I really hope I'm gonna enjoy this video again. While I was waiting for Amtrak train 733, a guy was letting us know that the cafe would be open or maybe not. But however, as I was waiting for this, I was filming the bridge in the background with the sky in the background. But however, here comes Amtrak train 733. The capital corridor has made its way here in Oakland Jackland Square in the afternoon.
7:33.
As I step a little backwards to see the train going by as the grade crossing gate's about to go down, Amtrak train 733, the capital corridor, has made its move again, heading southbound here in Oakland Jackland Square on track 2, Union Pacific now subdivision, with the grade crossing gate have been going down, led by Siemens Chargers SC44 and Caltrain's F40PH locomotive, leading the capital corridor train 733 heading southbound on track 2 here in Oakland Jackland Square. The final train of the day was Amtrak train capital corridor heading from San Jose to Sacramento, California, has made its way here in Oakland Jackland Square, led by a cab car with the F59PH unit and the F40PH trailer trailing on the capital corridor train, heading northbound on track 2 here in Oakland Jackland Square, where I have to see the F40PH locomotive of Caltrain trailing on the capital corridor again. We hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon for more updates to see more videos like this. We can see more trains here in Oakland Jackland Square. This is part 1, where I have to film more Amtrak trains here in Oakland Jackland Square. Thank you for watching. From here to Oakland, my name is Nate. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care. Peace.